I was just about to say this made my second, and then that came in and it's like the first. Yep, we restarting the entire song. Okay, we're now here with the album first listen of the X from MONSTA. This is an album that I'm really looking forward to getting into. This will be my first time getting into a MONSTA album, and so I don't really know what to expect in regards to this. I just came from taking a look at the title track, which is in the front, and I've also taken a look at Do What I Want prior to that. I've looked at all of those things today, and again, we're now getting into the album. If you find yourself interested and wanting to check out my reaction to Do What I Want and in the front, you can find those reactions up on the channel already by the time this is posted. You can find it in the MONSTA playlist, or you can find it linked at the very end of this video. Um, I don't have too much to say. Again, I've never listened to an album from them before. I've listened to some of their title tracks. I haven't listened to their really older, like their older things. I got into K-pop somewhere around 2019, and so any music I've heard of theirs is around 2018, 2019 and onwards, and so this is again this is going to be incredibly exciting for me. Um I don't really have too much to say in regards to it. I'm just looking forward to this. I don't know what I'm going to get, and so we'll just kind of see how it is as we go along. So, let's just go ahead and get into things. I have a disclaimer, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about this first song that we're about to get into. Disclaimer: just as I have it with my music videos, music video reactions, I am someone who pauses a lot and I rewind a lot, and especially during album first listens, if I really end up liking the song, I like replay things like a lot. And so, if that's something that you're not interested in, definitely find someone else who doesn't do that as often as I do. Uh, and if you find yourself enjoying this reaction, any part of it at all, definitely do the cringy YouTuber things of like, commenting, and or subscribing. Any one of the three, it is helpful to me, and me saying this sometimes works. Now, as I was saying, in regards to the song that we're about to get into, I have already heard it. I just told you a second ago that I just kind of reacted to the music video for that today, and I've also taken a look at a dance performance in that same video. So if that is something that you wish to listen to, you can definitely go over there and listen to it in that video, because I will not be posting my reaction to that in this album first listen. I've already listened to it. I've already reacted to it. So if you're curious as to what my thoughts on it are, you can essentially find it over there. What is going to happen though is you're going to, even though you're not going to see my reaction to the song again, even though I am going to listen to it again, you'll kind of get my final thoughts again on that song if you don't necessarily feel like, I guess, going over to the music video reaction. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to listen to the song again. I'm going to add it to the playlist it needs to go into, and I'm also going to take a look at the writing creds, and then I will be back with you guys for my final thoughts on this song. So I'll see you in a second. It's such a catchy song, bro. No. Stop. I love that song, bro. I do. I think I like that song more than the title track, and I would have never guessed that would be the case for a song like this, but there's just something about this song that's so damn catchy. Just their deliveries, that sample that's underneath, just all of those things combined make me really like this song. I really do. I honestly do. I like it. I don't know what else to say more than that. I like this song. Um, but as you can see, I've already added this to the playlist it needs to go into. I've also seen the credits. I am and Juhani, of course, have writing credits on this. Makes sense to me. Uh, it's just to be expected, but I still like to take a look at those things. Other than that, we are about to go into the next song on the album, which is In the Front. Again, another song that I've already taken a look at. I already have a reaction up on the channel of me reacting to that by the time you see this, and so I will also not be reacting to this in this album first listen. I'm going to be listening to it on my own and on the stream, but I am not going to be listening to it in this album, like in this video that you're watching right now. You're just like with Do What I Want, you're just gonna hear my final thoughts on the song. So again, if you haven't already seen it, definitely go over to that video, see what my initial reaction to that song is, and then I will be back with you guys with my final thoughts on this song. I will also, in the meantime, add this to the playlist it needs to go into. Check the writing creds, and then again, after this point in time, the rest of the songs on the album we're going to be here together for, because all of that will be new for me. So I'll see you guys in a second. I don't know what to say in regards to it. I do. I don't know if it's because it's the third listen, but I do really find myself enjoying that. I think even more so, I think my favorite like parts of the song, it's like starting from, it's not really the final chorus, but it's like the chorus before the final chorus. Starting from there through to the end of the song, I really just enjoy that part because I like the part when the claps come in, I love when the stomps come in, and then I just like that sound in general, like I mentioned before, of them singing on that that entire like chorusy bit. Like again, pre-chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus. I love just that entire portion there too. And so kind of like having that, I don't know. Like every time I listen to the song, like a part of me like enjoys it even more. I do think that I still prefer Do What I Want more than this one, because again, there's just something about like all of the things combined with that song that I just really enjoy, and I enjoy it like more than this one. But I do really like In the Front. I do. And like I said, it's a song that I will listen to again, and I will. I've added In the Front to the playlist it needs to go into. I've also taken a look at the creds. They don't have any writing creds on this one, but I mean, that's kind of to be expected. Um, because the other one was a pre-release and the way the song kind of came off. I mean, obviously, like in comparison to, because we had Dim Joints on this one, so I felt like Dim Joints and like a few other people were probably gonna have writing creds that were a bit more forward on this on the title track than any of the members of the group, and so I didn't like they could very well have had like writing creds on this, but I didn't really expect it because of how the song went. But I always like to check those things just in case, just to give credit and stuff like that. But also, something that you kind of just saw me do that I forgot to mention, I don't know why. It's only until I get to like the second song of the album that I remember that this is something that I do. I rank albums, doesn't matter how long or short they are. I rank them, and I'm going to do the same with this one. So far, for the ranking, as I just mentioned, Do What I Want is my number one, and that is followed by In the Front, as those are the only two songs on the album that I've listened to so far. Now, what usually happens, if the songs are pretty straightforward and I feel like I have a pretty clear idea as to how it is that I feel about each of the songs individually, then usually, I will just kind of say you'll already have an idea, but I'll essentially just say my final ranking at the end of this. Sometimes though, we do have the moments in which I do have to step away if there are songs that I feel are about on the same level and I'm not quite sure where to place them. What I'll find myself doing is I'll end up like taking like a bit of a second and kind of skip through each of the songs to kind of see which one I prefer over the other, just so that I can have a bit more of a concrete ranking at the end of this. But yeah, if that comes, if that happens to happen, I will end up doing all of that. But otherwise, it'll just be me kind of like ranking the album as I go along. And we'll just see how things go. Obviously, all of these are just initial thoughts, rankings. Those things could change once I listen to the songs on the album a lot more after this. But just as an initial ranking, I do like to rank the album just to kind of see where my thoughts in my head was when I first listened to the album. But yeah, we're going to go into the next song on the album together. We finally get to listen to this together. Savior, MONSTA. I'm not going to hold you any longer. Let's go. I didn't hit it. There we go. Wow. Hold on. It did do it again. Hold on. I'm just gonna restart this. Sorry. Oh, wow. Who's doing like the higher voice there? I can hear it. Wow. Sorry, let me hear that again. Wow. I already gave my, look, I gave my disclaimer at the beginning of this. I said that I pause and rewind on this even more so than I do in my music video reactions. So this is kind of where it's coming into play. Who's doing the higher voice underneath, bro? Like, what? Wow, dude. Nah, you're enough. Not far enough. That bridge, man. The voice. Still going. There's something that they do with their voices here, right? Hold on. No, because there's like this thing that they do where it's like, hold on. I think you guys hear it. It's hard for me to replicate it because I can't sing. No, I love that, bro. This feels like a nighttime song for me too, actually. Yeah, I think I might be adding this to my late night Kpop playlist. Oh, I enjoyed that one. This one was a smooth one. I love their voices in this one too. I do. The part that I was kind of like, okay, for one, someone tell me who was kind of doing that higher part. I can't remember if that was during the chorus or what it was. It was either chorus, pre-chorus, or it was something because it was a part that was repeated. I want to say that it could have been the pre-chorus because it might not have been the chorus. But it was like you had someone's voice that was lower, and then you kind of had like the higher underneath it. And who the hell was that? Because that was so good, bro. I love the sound of that. Whoever's voice that was, please absolutely let me know. The part that I also just kind of mentioned at the end, it was a bit difficult for me to explain it because again, I myself, I cannot sing. But if you guys listen to the song, you can kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. There's something that they do with their voices for that part that it's almost as if like it falls off where it's like obviously it doesn't sound like that, but it kind of like falls off to the side is the best way that I can describe that. And I really love the part in that. I love how I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain the sound of this song, but I enjoyed it. I feel like there has been like a bit of a consistency across like the songs in this album. Nothing feels like too different from the other, I think. And so that has kind of been interesting to see. I wonder if the rest of the songs on the album are going to keep the same tone. In terms of where I think this places in regards to the ranking, I want to say that this places above in the front, but I don't think it's higher than I don't think it's higher than Do What I Want. I think Do What I Want is still my number one at the moment. Again, there's something about Do What I Want that my heart yearns for. It makes my heart happy in a way that, like, while I'm enjoying, and I really enjoyed this one too, like, I really, really enjoyed this one, it, like, brings, like, some kind of, like, happiness to my heart. Like, every time I listen to it, it's like, I don't necessarily get giddy, but there's just something so fun about Do What I Want that I really enjoy. To where it's still just kind of like taking my number one spot for the album so far. So again, in regards to the ranking so far, we have Do What I Want, we have Savior, and then we have In the Front. But yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add Savior to the playlist it needs to go into. This feels like a nighttime song for me, especially with the way that this song has been produced. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a song that I feel like I will listen to quite a bit at nighttime. And so this is going to get added to a couple of playlists. I'm going to check out the writing creds as usual, and then I will be back with you guys for the next song on the album. Okay, I have added Savior to the playlist it's needed to go into. I've also taken a look at the creds. I saw that I Am had writing and production creds, and I saw that You Honey had writing creds. Nice. Again, I like to check out those things just to give props to those who do end up working on those things. But also, I had a question. I tried looking it up, but I didn't quite see anything in regards to it. I saw that two other people, it was Oogie and someone else. We can actually go back to it. Oogie and Yunsel. Now, I for a second thought that maybe it was like two other members, maybe who were going maybe under the. I keep saying maybe. My goodness, I thought that perhaps it was two of the members who were going under their real names as opposed to their artist names, but it doesn't appear to be the case because I looked on K profiles and I didn't see that Huki or Yunsuk was either like any of their names. Maybe they took some kind of liberties and rearranged it somehow, and these are actually members of the group who have writing and production creds. But because I am unsure of that, I'm just going to say that only I Am and Jew Honey have writing and production creds on these. But either way, if the other two people on this who have writing and production creds are members of the group, I do apologize, and kudos to them as well if that is the case. Kudos to them in general, even if it's not, because again, I really, really enjoyed Savior. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next song on the album, which is Tuscan Leather. Let's go. Let's restart that because we did get like a little thing at the beginning. We don't want to miss that.
우린 Tuscan Leather 내 완벽한 feed 돈의 손가락이
The way you said it.
꽉 조인 tight 네 창의 red bottoms oh shh we ready be killing it 피싸면 걸어 내 걸음걸이 like king 내 이빨에 빛나는 diamond grill 제다 비켜라 멋쟁이 옆에는 real 멋대로 걸어 괴물들의 묵직한 feel
Wow, the way the delivery.
느낌 오잖아 그대로 go get it 마음대로 무대 위를 밟아 villain 환영해 with carpet 위에 now we kill it Shine all lighting on my heartbeat 스며든 향긴 계속해서 even when our time is done 내 맘 안그 속
I was just about to say this made my second, and then that came in and it slid to first. Yep, we restarting the entire song. Yep, I said it. I did it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I was about to be like, oh, this is going in my second spot. And then it was like, nope, I'm going in first.
We ready be killing it. Peace 하면 걸어내 걸음걸이 like king 내 이빨에 빛나는 diamond grill 제다 비켜라 멋쟁이 옆에는 real
I should have known though. I should have known.
흘러 넘치잖아 매력 있게 feel it 느낌 오잖아 그대로 go get it 마음대로 무대 위를 밟아 feel it 너 환영해 with carpet 위에 now we kill it.
When this part came in, I should have known.
Shine all lighting on my heartbeat 스며든 향긴 계속해서 even when our time is done 내 맘 안그 속엔 널 안고 있어 We're burning so close 그래 네가 내게 준 brain
It's my favorite song. This is my favorite song on the album. I'm replaying that, dude. It's my favorite song on the album.
Shine all lighting on my heartbeat
Is that the guitar? Their voices in these chords? Oh my. The piano, man.
내 맘 안그 속엔 널 안고 있어 We're burning so close 그래 네가 내게 준 brand new heart 멈출 수 없어 beating heart loving you you make it for me too
Give me a second. Let me just add that. Let me add that to my ranking list real quick because look. Give me a second. Look, bro, what the hell? Nah, bro. That's cause that's okay.
좀 더 깊게 그래 네가 내게 준 brand new heart 멈출 수 없어 beating heart loving you you make it for me too
That melody again.
beating heart loving you you make it for me too 좀 더 깊게 drowning you 내게 더 다가와 for you 우리만의 secret open 나 깊게 drowning you 내게 더 다가와 for you 우리만의 secret open 나 우리 one for the M two for the X
I'ma take you to my house and get you my face up and
How do you go from the stuff I just listened to into this? And how do I get over it? I don't.
shine all lighting
Sorry, my hand slipped. Look, my hand slipped. I could just stay here forever. Nah, bro. Oh my gosh.
흔들리는 눈빛에 미치게 만들어 When I'm moving I know you feel the freedom 생각 말고 그냥 받아들여
No. I went too far back, but
face up 흔들리는 눈빛에 미치게 만들어 When I'm moving I know you feel the freedom 생각 말고 그냥 받아들여 Just move it through your Party ain't over
I think going into this part is crazy, bro. I'm trying to be good. I'm not. And the voices underneath. I'm trying to be good. I'm not gonna rewind. I gotta do the close part though. Nah, bro. Is that a flute?
Yo, 다시 한번 up and down, let's ride, let's ride, let's ride.
Yeah, yeah, baby, take me home tonight. We can do this all night. 좀 brand new world 멈출 수 없어 beating heart loving you 내게도 take it from me too
It's so good, bro. Nah, bro.
내게도 다가와 for you 우리만의 secret open 나 우린 one for the M, two for the X
No, that's my favorite song on the album. I don't know. How did you go from the first three songs? How did I go from the first three songs to this? How did I go from the first three songs to Tuscan Leather? How? And what a title like that, bro? The melodies in that. Dun, dun, dun. The flute that came in, like the little switch up at the end with the flute and stuff. There was like a gritty grunginess that you got with the guitar and stuff in there too. The sound of like the piano, like the keys and stuff. I want to say like we got like there was a synth that came in. It felt like we had, I can't tell if there was like scratching in that. I'm like starting to forget now. I just want to listen to the song again, but I know that I cannot because I have two other songs on the album that I have to get around to. But that is hands down and heads above my favorite song on the album. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. That's all I could say. I didn't know. I knew, actually. I just didn't know I was gonna get a song like this on the album based on like the first three songs that we got. And so I was completely unsure as to how the rest of the album was gonna go. I just assumed that it was gonna be a bit more in line with that stuff. And then we got this. And now I don't know what to expect for the rest of it. But I do know. I do know that Tuscan Leather is my #1 song in this album. And this is gonna go into multiple playlists. And this is a song that's gonna get played multiple times. If you did not realize already the amount of times that I kept restarting and going back and doing the same things over and over again because of how much I enjoyed that. That's such a damn good song. Again, sounds like this I love from them the most, and it could just be because of my preference and music in terms of like genre. And so songs like this will always like tug my heart a bit more. And I just love their voices and their raps and all of that stuff on tracks like this. It's just kind of how it is for me. But I love it. I loved every second of that song, and I'm not gonna like keep yapping about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it to the playlist it needs to go into. And I'm gonna take a look at the writing credits and we're gonna move on to the next song on the album because if I don't, I'm just going to literally listen to this song on repeat. So yeah, I will see you guys in a second with the next song on the album. Okay, I've now added Tuscan Leather to the playlist this needed to go into. I've also just taken a look at the writing creds, and I saw that Jew Honey this time has the production creds on this song as well as writing creds. That is so damn exciting, bro. And also I Am has writing creds on this as well. That is so damn exciting, bro. I love that song. Again, my favorite song on the album. It like those songs where like they're participating in the production as well. Nice fucking job, bro. Great job from the both of them. I love that. Alright. I also saw a name that said BK. Again, I'm going to assume that it's none of the other members on the in the group. I was about to say on the album. None of the other members in the group, I'm going to assume they don't go by BK. I'm going to assume that that's just another person that I'm unfamiliar with. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next song on the album, which is Catch Me Now. Let's go.
이건 위험한 emotion 본능 차원의 confusion 손에 땀을 쥐는 scene Can you feel me breathing 전국과 거리가 먼 타락한 모습으로
I'm wait. I'm gonna wait. Is this my second favorite or is this my third? Because I'm like, do I like this one more? Then do what I want. You know what? We're gonna put them on the same level. We're gonna put them on the same level for now in my head, and we'll come back around at the end of the album and kind of figure that out. But it's shot very it's up there. It's up there. It's absolutely up there. Actually, while I'm here, let's go back. I don't know what I went back to. I love this part. The drums, man. Ooh. The voice, the guitar, or bass, whatever the hell.
Many times I have to lose myself. If I'm in the process, 얼마든지 생각해. 너도 알고 있듯 이미 밤을 적어 나는 무너진 상태. 더 망가져도 상관없어 if you can catch me.
Don't pass me. 또 너만 있다면 부귀영화 Gatsby. 이제 밀고 당기고 다 됐니. 그 부드러운 손으로 잡아준다면 난 rest in peace. Baby, 아무리 원해도 될 수가 없어. Paradise is
Voices, man. I've been good, but I'm stopping it. I'm sorry. Hello, whispers there? That guitar, bro. I had to catch it before it stopped. Wow, the ad-libs, man. I can hear him. Yeah. I don't know where that goes. It's either second or third, or there's just a tie for second. With the bass in that. The guitar in that. The drums in that. Their voice in that. The moments where we just kind of had them whispering in our ear. The layered vocals in moments too. Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with these this song and the previous song. But, yo, they're... Okay. Bro, I legit don't know what the last song was about to sound like. I don't know what this last song is about to sound like. I'm surprised. To be fair, it's probably because I was like restraining myself a bit. I was restraining myself just a tad bit. So I was like, yo, you went a little too in on Tuscan Leather. You need to relax. And so I don't even know. This is also feeling like a late night K-pop playlist. Like, this is going into multiple playlists, but this for sure is also feeling like a late night song for me. It could just be that bass or something doing it for me. It could be like the airiness or like the higher parts of like the voice in the song, essentially in like the chorus. It could be like those parts too that are really just making this feel like a nighttime song for me. But this is a song that I can also absolutely see myself listening to a lot at nighttime, outside of nighttime as well, but especially now, since right now it's a bit darker. in my room because I'm streaming a bit later. I can like absolutely see myself listening to that song multiple times in one sitting, just at nighttime, like doing nothing at my computer. I could just see myself doing that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the playlist it needs to go into. And then I'm going to take a look at the writing credits, and I will be back with you guys for the last and final song. The next and final song on the album. I was like about to say the same thing twice, essentially. But yeah, I will see you guys for the next and final song on the album. Okay, I've gone and added Catch Me Now to the playlist I needed to go into. I've also taken a look at the writing credits, and just like majority of the songs, I'm going to assume it's going to be the case for this song as well. So like 5 of the 6 songs, I'm going to assume that I Am and Jew Honey have writing credits on these. And so far that's been the case. They've been on every song's credits besides the title track, which again, as I said, I kind of suspected as such, but I mean, that I feel like that's typically how it goes. Other than that, though, we're here with the final song on the album, Fire and Ice. I don't have anything to say. I've been enjoying myself with this one, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Fire and Ice, MONSTA, the final song on the album. Let's go. The voice.
널 마주한 순간 첫눈에 느낀 걸 But I'm not giving up, giving up
Wow, hold on. The way he sung. Oh! Sorry, the way he sung that.
널 마주한 순간 첫눈에 느낀 걸 But I'm not giving up, giving up
너와 나의 순간이 영원할 수 있다면 But I'm not giving up
깊은 밤 너와 나
Oh.
우리 fire and ice 빛나는 조명 위 우린 dancing all night Like the stars kiss the moon in the dead of the night Tell what you want
This is different from the rest of it.
You and me fire and ice fire 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 You and me fire and ice fire fire You and me fire and ice Everything nothing at all 원하면 나를 던져 어디든 상관없어
뜨거운 네 손길에 I'm ready to give my
Of course, I know.
body to you
깊은 밤 너와 나 우리 fire and ice 빛나는 조명 위 우린 dancing all night Like the stars kiss the moon
I love the voice there. Hold on. I had to record that.
우리 fire and ice 빛나는 조명 위 우린 dancing all night Like the stars kiss the moon in the dead of the night Tell what you want in my mind You and me fire and ice fire fire You and me fire and ice fire You and me fire and ice But what do I want is
The voice, man.
What do I want is 깊은 밤 너와 나
Ooh.
우리 fire and ice 빛나는
The delay, though, that was sick. Again,
all night
that was nice.
깊은 밤 너와 나 우리 fire and ice 빛나는 조명 위 우린 dancing all night Like the stars kiss the moon in the dead of the night Do what you want with my mind You and me fire and ice
Popping off of the vocals, bro. Again, sorry. I ain't go back for it now.
in the dead of the night Do what you want with my mind You and me fire and ice fire and ice fire and ice
Damn, and that's the end of MONSTA The X album. Oh my gosh, I had such a fantastic time here, man. I did that song. I really enjoyed that song, but I think I don't know where I place it. I don't know if I place it on the same level of that as In the Front, or if I place it, ooh, by the melodies in that. Okay. It almost feels as if those two songs are interchangeable, but I don't know which one that I'm feeling more than the other at this moment in time. I really like the melodies on that song. This song had a different sound, like just completely different from the rest of them. And I mean entirely. There was no other song on the album that sounded anything like this, and I actually quite enjoyed that. It was really, really nice. Here's the thing. I mentioned with In the Front is a title track, and so far, like in the ranking, this is without me adding Fire and Ice to this ranking so far. While In the Front is like at the bottom of the list, and even though I said like in the music video reaction that this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but even though in that I said that this isn't like In the Front isn't my favorite um like MONSTA track, it's still a track that I really enjoy. So it's like when I'm ranking these, especially like the songs that are a bit more towards the bottom, just because they're on the bottom, it doesn't mean that they're songs that I dislike. It's just mean that there are other songs on the album that I like more than these songs. And so for me, I'm like, man, Fire and Ice and In the Front are kind of like on the bottom and they're interchangeable, but it's not in a bad way because I still like every single song on this album. I would listen to every single song on this album again. There's not a song on this album that I wouldn't listen to again. I've enjoyed every single song on it, but I'm trying to like, it's hard for me to decide where each of these go because it truly just depends on like my mood and what it is that I'm for. Because to some degree overall, I somewhat feel the same way about the both of them, but I almost feel like the melodies in this one are making me slightly more inclined to pick this. But because now it's been a minute since we've listened to In the Front, I'm gonna have to take a second to listen to that song again. So what's going to happen? I kind of mentioned this at the start that this is something that could potentially happen, and it seems like it has. Because I am unsure as to where this song goes in relation to In the Front, as well as me not knowing where um, Catch Me Now goes in relation to Do What I Want. I'm going to skip through. I'm not going to do a full listen to, but I'm going to skip through each of those songs again just to kind of figure out where they go. Tuscan Leather is 100% my number one. And I do think that Savior is somewhere, is probably at number 4. So I just kind of need to figure out what the last place is going to be and what the number 2 spot is going to be. So in that time, I'm going to do that, and I'm also just going to go ahead and add Fire and Ice to the playlist it needs to go to. I'm going to check out the writing press, and then I will be back with you guys for the final ranking and my final thoughts on this album. So see you in a second. Okay, I am now back with the final ranking for the album. Some things have changed a little bit, and I kind of just put Fire and Ice where it was supposed to go. Previously what the album ranking was, it was Tuscan Leather. It was technically Do What I Want / Catch Me Now. I essentially just figured out where it is that I want to place that. Savior, I just gave a spoiler. It's Fire and Ice and In the Front. Now, the final ranking of the album, it's Tuscan Leather, Catch Me Now, Do What I Want, Savior, Fire and Ice, In the Front. I decided that Catch Me Now, I technically like it a bit more than Do What I Want, but again, the energy that comes from Do What I Want, I feel like it could very well be interchangeable with that of Catch Me Now, but I think overall, as a song, Catch Me Now is something that I prefer just a bit more than Do What I Want. In terms of Fire and Ice and In the Front, again, while I do like In the Front, and I feel like In the Front and Fire and Ice are pretty interchangeable, for this very moment in time in which we are listening to this album, I do think that I'm leaning a bit more towards Fire and Ice in this very moment, and so that is why I placed it above In the Front. Otherwise, everything else has stayed in its place. Tuscan Leather is still absolutely my number 1, and as I mentioned before, Savior is number 4. So again, the final ranking for the album, it's Tuscan Leather, Catch Me Now, Do What I Want, Savior, Fire and Ice, In the Front. Now, as I mentioned before, I've already added Fire and Ice to my playlist, to the playlist I need to go into, and I also took a look at the writing credits, and I saw that Hyungwon produced and wrote for this song, so that is amazing in that regards. Nice to him. I enjoyed myself with this album. I did. I really did. I enjoyed every single song on this album. Now, obviously, as I feel like with a lot of things, while my preferences towards some songs were a bit stronger than that of others, I enjoyed every single song that I listened to today. And as I mentioned before, they're all songs that I would listen to again. And I look forward to listening to all of them again and seeing how maybe my preferences for those change. I don't think that my number one is going to change. Tuscan Leather is Tuscan Leather, and I said it during my reaction to that. It is heads above every other song. I love that song with a passion, and I don't think that it'll change. So that song for sure is going in my everyday rotation song. It is not an every so often song. It is an everyday type of song, and I look forward to listening to that song as often as I can. That was fantastic. I enjoyed myself with this album. They did such a great job. Again, this is my first time listening to a MONSTA album, and it makes me curious to see what the rest of their albums sound like. Now, as I mentioned before, if I get into their albums, their other albums, I don't see it as something that I myself am going to post. If I post anything else that is MONSTA related, it'll be releases in regards to this era, or like maybe future era, like future comebacks of theirs, but it won't be anything in regards to their past releases. That's stuff that I'll probably check out on my own. But listening to this, it makes me excited to listen to their other things. I've like found myself with so many songs from them, and I found myself like hearing different sounds from them that I feel like I haven't heard from them in regards to their title tracks, or at least to some degree. It was just a really good time for me. I got to enjoy their rapping. I got to enjoy their voices, and I got to enjoy just them and their productions on the songs for a good bit of them. And so that was just really really fun for me. I enjoyed myself here. I had a really really great time. But we're now done with this album, and so I am going to wrap things up here. If you guys enjoyed anything in this video that you saw, anything at all, definitely do the cringy YouTuber thingies of like, commenting, and or subscribing. Any one of the three. It is helpful to me, and me saying this sometimes works. Again, if you haven't seen my reaction to the to In the Front's music video, that should already be posted to the channel. It was posted the same day that this one was. Also, if you haven't seen my reaction to Do What I Want, that is also posted. That was probably posted the day before this one. And so if you're interested in seeing any of those things, definitely check it out. I also looked at the dance performance for Do What I Want, and I looked at the move to performance for In the Front. So definitely check those out as well. They're in the videos with their respective music videos. So check those things out for sure. If you're interested in them, of course, you don't have to. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this album first listen of mine. Again, my very first just MONSTA album in general. And again, I had such a fantastic time. They did a great job. Kudos to them. Thank you to all of the other producers and writers as well across the tracks. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me good music and songs to add to my playlist. I am very, very grateful for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this reaction here, and I hope to see you guys around the channel, honestly.